Hi everybody, my name is Hal, and I'm here tonight to answer the burning question that I'm sure that's been plaguing everyone's minds, keeping up at night, week after week, and that is, if Jesus were around on earth today, would he be my friend on Facebook? But before we talk about Jesus and America's favorite online social media obsession, I want to call attention to a trend that I'm seeing when I'm out mingling with people just like you on nights much like this. More and more I'm running into people who confess to being overwhelmed by the social media options that they have for making connections online. You see, there's Facebook and there's Foursquare, there's Twitter and there's LinkedIn, there's IM and DM, there's SMS and RMS, and rumor has it that some people even still use email. Is it any wonder that we're confused about where to connect with who? I mean, do I use Facebook for work, or do I connect with people that I meet out on Twitter? You see, the problem is that we've bought into this idea that we've chosen to, whether or not we've chosen to participate in 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 social media networks, we think that we have to connect with everyone all the time in all of them. In fact, I know so many people who actually feel guilty for not accepting the friend request of every single person that asks them to be their friend on Facebook, even if it's people they hardly even know or haven't talked to in years. You see, this is not only unhealthy, but it's unrealistic. There is research now that suggests that it is actually impossible for the human mind to maintain an infinite number of relationships. This guy right here, his name is Dunbar. He's a British anthropologist, and he was the first person to suggest, let me get this straight here, he was the first person to suggest that there is a cognitive limit to the number of people with whom you can maintain social, stable relationships. In other words, your brain was not designed to know which 80s song best describes all 365 of your Facebook friends. Mine's Living on a Prayer, just in case you're wondering. In fact, Dunbar said that most of us are incapable of maintaining more than about 150 ongoing, engaged social media relationships. And this, of course, brings us back to Jesus. You see, if you read the Bible story, it tells us that Jesus had a very large crowd following. But then from that larger crowd, he chose 12 guys to take under his wing. And within the 12 disciples, there were 3, Peter, James, and John, with whom Jesus had these deeper relationships. So despite the fact that he could walk on water, even Jesus didn't try to befriend hundreds of people at once. So how then can we, as mere mortals, unshackle ourselves from the fetters of overconnecting without acquiring the stigma of being a social media elitist? Well, I've got 3 simple suggestions for you. First, use each of your social media networks for a different purpose. Second, explain to people that you meet how you use your social media networks. And third, invite them to connect with you via the appropriate social media network. And you're going, do what? Huh? Okay, so let me break this down for you and tell you about how I use 3 of the most popular social media tools out there. First of all, there's LinkedIn. This is my online Rolodex. If I meet you at a civic or business event or something like Ignite and we trade business cards, then I'll be more than happy to connect with you on LinkedIn. I have very few filters here. Then there's Twitter. I'm always game to find more funny and interesting people to follow. So introduce yourself to me in person, then follow me on Twitter, and I'll be happy to follow you back. However, I make a concentrated effort to never be following more than 150 people at one time. Therefore, you've got to stay interesting if you want to keep me following you. Lastly is Facebook. This is third base for me, which means you aren't getting any on the first date. Don't take it personally. It's not you, it's me. I reserve Facebook for my closest friends and family. So in conclusion, Jesus did not attempt to create ongoing friendships with hundreds of people at one time. So my guess is he probably would not be your friend on Facebook. And since I don't have enough brain power to maintain hundreds of relationships at one time, I probably won't either. My name is Hal Thomas, and you can find all my social media crap online at halthomas.com. Thanks a lot.